Hey guys, it's Alex here with the Elmax cut test, production versus custom. So I already made this video once. I kind of know what's going to happen and I know why, but all my files got corrupted and remaking it. So what's going to happen is I'm just going to run through the test really quick, count everything. I'll have two cameras, shooting everything so everything's like in tandem, so there's no funny business, and then count everything up, and then we'll discuss more at the end. Everything's going to be really close as far as the numbers for these two, so we'll get into it. Alright, so this is what we have. I did DMT coarse, DMT fine, 1 micron strop, 10 passes per side. Got rid of that burr. I had burr issues in the first video, so I just want to help mitigate that. We got our recording software, pen and paper. So the reason why I have behind the edge thickness on there, there's a few reasons. I think I'm going to make another video and talk about that, but I think there's a lot of misinformation about that and what it has to do with edge retention, but I assure you it does. So stay tuned for that, and then we're gonna, do our test, hair test, fine edge, and then we're gonna do our paper cut test for working edge. I got yellow paper because, believe it or not, you can slice it better. Not really. That's all I had, so it's gonna be yellow. And then of course our cardboard. Lowe's, if you want to sponsor this, holler at me. So yeah, that's what we have going on. And then this camera is going to be primarily recording me in a different angle because I realize the other angles kind of suck. So we're going to try it out and see what happens. Alright, so the test is done. What are the numbers? They were still pretty close. So, like I said, I ran this test yesterday. The numbers I got yesterday, I'll run through those really quick because they were also close, and I think that there were some things that happened during the test today that might account for the numbers I got. So, yesterday's test, same process. For the production Elmax, I got fine edge, 46 cuts. With our multiplier, we got 167 feet. For our working edge, we got 92 cuts, and with our multiplier, that was 335 feet, so a total of 502.7 feet. Our custom, my custom, yesterday I got fine edge was 59 cuts, or 215 feet with the multiplier. Length of cardboard is the multiplier, I'm not making up math. Working edge was 103, with the multiplier was 375.5 with a total feet, which was 590.5 feet. So between 502.7 and 590, it was a 17% difference with the production versus my custom. Which, with all the, with all of that went into both of these knives, I would say is a pretty close judgment. Honestly, I'm surprised it didn't come even closer, but still, 17% difference between the two is very good, in my opinion, considering that, a lot of productions that have been tested on other, other channels and stuff like that haven't done so hot. So let's get to today's test. Same thing. Went through everything. We got a fine edge on the Fastpak production by Rainier knives. It was 54 cuts, so it gave us a total with our multiplier of 196.8 feet. So it did a little bit better than the first round. Working edge was 72 cuts, with the multiplier was 262.5 feet. A little less than the first round, but I mean still no slouch. And then our total for that one was 459.3 feet, which, that's great. I'm happy with that. You should be, as consumers, happy with that. And I know everyone, or some people, if they watch all my videos, are going to be like, why didn't it do 700 feet like the first with the production edge? Again, there are different considerations you need to take with knives. I don't really want to get into edge geometry. I want to do that in the next video because I got something special for that. But the edge that was put on that was more or less a polished edge from the factory. I actually talked to the owner of Rainier Knives, and he does 120 grit belt, low speed, and then he does yellow compound on a leather strap or a leather belt on the grinder. I don't know if it's a wheel or a belt. I'll have to reach out to him about that, or he'll reach out to me. I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's leather. Gets rid of the burr that way. It had absolutely no burr on it, and I'm fully confident that edge was not burnt. So, take it for what it is. I mean, production-wise, production edge-wise, it did awesome. The only difference was the cardboard was different. I didn't have, long enough cardboard, so the cardboard was different there. Paper was basically the same, so, I mean, yeah, 700, give or take, like, it is what it is. And then with this test, same edge with both tests, actually, yesterday and today. So, I mean, we can run the numbers and do the percentages, but I mean, 502 feet versus 459 feet is probably going to be in the ballpark of, what do we got? First number is, let's do 459. So it's a 9% difference. Like, it seems like a lot, like on paper, but it's percentage-wise, it's a 9%. well, 8.9%, and then it's 502 is a 9% increase of 400, so 10% is negligible, whatever. All right, so let's get into the custom. Again, yesterday I said the total edge I got was 590 feet. Like I said, 17% difference between those two yesterday. Today I got, fine edge was 80 cuts. With the multiplier, it was 3,500 inches or 291 feet. So it did a little better today than yesterday. Not because it got rest and all that shit. Like, I'm sure there were factors. Like, I couldn't find any hair in my arm. I was popping a lot of hair. Yesterday I was using leg hair, so it's probably different. I don't know. I would assume so. So 291 feet fine edge, and then working edge we did 96 cuts, and we got 350 feet. So yesterday we got 375 working edge, so it's in the ballpark. There were a few spots when I was slicing the paper that had kind of like caught on the tape, and then I fixed the tape and then kept going, and then the last time it did it, it did bite in and pull the paper apart, so I just kind of wanted to stop it there. I didn't want to go any further. I'm really bad at like gauging where to stop that, so if you have any ideas, like shout them out to me. Like, I just keep going until it just stops cleanly cutting paper. I don't know, but it ripped. So anyway, let's go through the percentages. So find it, or what did I say, 641 feet total for the custom. So again, a little 590.5 feet, 641, it's going to be right around that same, 9-10% versus yesterday's test. So percentages really quick. So the Fastpak Rainier knives production, the fine edge was 196 feet. The SPK Steingraber Performance Knives, my Elmax, was 291 feet. It was a 39% difference. So we'll explain that later. Working edge, 262 on the production, and then mine was 350. So that's a 28% difference. Still, I mean, those are fairly close, even still. And then 459 to 641 is a 39 or 33% difference with a 39% increase. My knife over the production. Like, numbers wise, it's good. I mean, they're roughly right around where they should be. And honestly, like yesterday's test is probably where I would definitely peg them. 502.7 to 590.5. So I mean, 17% difference is still really good. Like, I didn't crush it, and I knew I wasn't going to crush that knife. It's a very well made knife. The reasons why I knew I wasn't going to crush it: our heat treats are roughly the same. They sent me a paper per my request that said 61 HRC for 67 pieces, and that's the average is 61. So let's assume that it's 61. Mine, I sent 2 pieces. They were at 61 to 62. So let's assume that mine is 61.5. Okay? Roughly the same. However, the HRC, I guess, scale, and it's hard to like explain because there's different HRC scales which go up in a curve per composition, but as far as just in general, the curve kind of goes up. I mean, you lose toughness, you lose toughness, but you gain hardness. Hardness equals one of the feet of the stool of edge retention. So that's what I can attribute, or that's what I attribute. Yeah. That's what it fucking is. All right, HRC. So, yeah, sorry about that. So, that's what I can attribute it to, is the fact that mine might be a little bit harder than the other one. And like I said before, the reason why I put behind the edge thickness on here, they're roughly the same behind the edge thickness. I just wanted to point that out to everyone. In no way am I saying behind the edge thickness has a huge factor of edge retention, but it is a factor. And if you say that it's not, then you're fucking stupid. I'm just saying that. And again, I'll get into that in my next video, because I don't know, there's a lot of ranting that I want to do in that for some reason. Feeling froggy, guys. The stock thickness is not going to attribute to edge retention, but it is going to make the knife go through the material a lot easier, thus creating less stress and strain on the edge, thus kind of helping with edge retention. Guys, these are numbers, small numbers. I get it. Behind the edge is a small number. Stock thickness is a small number. Our three main factors. And people get this confused a lot. And again, I don't mean to beat a dead horse. Edge geometry and blade geometry are two different things. Okay? Edge geometry has to do with the angle of your edge. Blade geometry has to do with the angle of the blade. And whether it is a Scandi grind, full flat grind, those types of things. If you have a thinner edge blade geometry, it can attribute to a thinner edge geometry, because you no longer have a shoulder. There's a shoulder on a blade. All right, I guess we're getting into this. So the blade goes up, then there's a shoulder, and then there's your knife. So if you grind that down flatter and flatter and flatter, it's going to remove that shoulder, thus giving you a more acute angle, which gives you a thinner edge geometry, which, in my opinion and a few other people's opinions, attribute to edge retention. 100% is the edge geometry which attributes to edge retention. The other factor is obviously the composition and the hardness. Those are the only two other factors. Those are the three main factors that attribute to edge retention. So, indirectly, does the thinness, stock thickness, or thinness of the blade geometry, have an effect on edge geometry? It's indirect. So, done beating a dead horse. We'll beat a bunch of dead horses. We'll have a dead horse party and fucking just beat them until, I don't know. But that's the test. Rainier Knives Fastpak. Fucking did awesome. Seriously, guys, check these guys out. Like, they in no way endorse this at all. Like, I'm doing it all myself. Also, I mean, check out my knives, ask me questions about it, or don't. Like, it's up to you. I'm going to try to get this video edited either tonight or tomorrow and put that up online. I'm probably also going to try to share it on Reddit. I know there's a ton of tests going on, but, like, this is the test that I want to do, custom versus production. Yeah. If you have any customs that you want me to test, let me know. I think next video is going to be about edge geometry, blade geometry stuff, and we're going to do another regrind. M4, another Spyderco, DLC coated blade, so it'll be fun. And then after that, I kind of really don't have anything planned unless something comes up. I might talk about other stuff to do with knives. Because, I mean, testing is fun, but, like, every video testing is kind of, like, boring for me. Kind of. And, like, it takes a lot of cardboard and, you know, materials. So I want to kind of build a following before I just do that all the time. I'm not going to have a Patreon ever, probably, because fuck them. And I'm probably gonna, like, if I ever get big enough, I'll ask for money a different way. Like I'll sell merch or something. I don't know. But yeah, ways you can help me out currently is just like let me know if you have any knives you want me to test. Mostly productions, and if you have any friends that make customs, let me know. Especially with like cool steels. I think maybe the next test I want to do is either O1 tool steel, A2 steel, because those are fairly easy to come by, but I can't find any in. I mean, production and handmade are kind of getting, you know, blended together. Just like LT knives. I would guess I would consider them a custom production. And then there's Bark River, which I would consider them to be douchebags, but also a production company. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything to talk about right now. So, that's the deal. Subscribe, all that stuff. Thank you for watching.